Let the galaxy burn.
Hi guys, Skypoint here. Now I've recently been having a lot of luck climbing up the ladder by playing Jago Sevatar. So my ranking is now 3,825, which is higher than it's been at any point during this month. So I wanted to share with you my Sevatar deck and then show you a couple of my really good recent matches in action. So let's start by taking a look at the deck over here. Here you go. I'm not going to talk through all the cards in a lot of detail. I'm just going to say that Recon Claw is a really important part of this deck, probably one of the most important parts. Many of the legendary cards here, if you don't have them, can be substituted. For Nostromo, you can put in almost anything. You can have anything from a Legacy of Byzas to any other unit of your choice, really. For Mercy and Forgiveness, it's actually pretty flexible. I don't end up using its ability always, so you can put in pretty much whatever you want as a substitute if you don't have Mercy and Forgiveness. For Extra Tres, if you don't have him, you can throw in another Pi Alpha 52. For Duke Mordecai, if you don't have him, you can put in almost any unit which costs 5 energy. There's a lot of good options out there. Duke Mordecai has this cool ability, but I don't end up using that terribly often, so he's kind of substitutable. For Endros Shrek, if you don't have him, you can put in, from the Night Lord's deck, Headsman over here will kind of fill a similar role. Won't be as good as Endros Shrek though. And then rounding off, if you don't have the Raven, that's actually tough to replace because there's nothing else which can really be a finisher for it like he is. But if you don't have him, I would probably put in Atramentar as sort of like an emergency, like last-ditch frontline unit, and also to buff your Warlord. Alright, enough of that. Let's just go and take a look at some of the really good matches I've had with this deck. Now the first match is actually going to be against Ehrlen. And so this match was against a player who, when I played him, his rank was originally 4,412. So let's take a look at how this deck did. Here we go. Now Ehrlen's always dangerous because of how fast he can inflict damage, but I was really happy to see that I got Recon Claw in my hand straight away. I was torn about whether to replace the Raven or not. It's nice to have in your hand, but early on I want other cards. And I got Abandoned Supplies instead, so I think I made the right choice over there. So Sevatar's unique ability is that he ends up with +1 attack while his enemy has no troop, and I started with the initiative, so Ehrlen had nothing on the board. So I could attack him straight away. And he hits me right back. I played Abandoned Supplies to draw a card, and I was lucked out big time. I got a cheap Night Sides. So now my Recon Claw goes into play because my Night Sides can react next turn to whatever he plays. Because Night Sides have this cool ability where when you put them into play, you destroy a troop with 2 or less attack. Now this guy over here is not worth wasting my Night Scythe on, and with 4 energy I had a better idea. I could put Extra Tres into play and give him flank in order to trigger his healing. So my Recon Claw now gives him flank, and he triggers healing, and now I go back up to 27 health. Match is still close at this point. Ehrlen plays Void Engagement, which is a great move, doing 3 damage to me, and he still has 3 energy left, so he plays his own healing card. And by having a unit in play, my attack drops from 3 to 2. Now it's time for Night Side, so playing them at 4 energy because of Abandoned Supplies leaves me with 1 more energy point to heal via Extra Tres. With his guy dead, my Sevatar can attack, doing 3 damage. So this is looking pretty good for me so far. He comes back with these bikes who kill my Extra Tres, so I cannot heal 1 more time, and he uses Ehrlen's damage ability to hit me straight away. Okay, now my Recon Claw begins to do work. Use Reaper of Kaldak to stop Ehrlen from attacking, although he can still use his ability. I give him flank and I destroy his motorbike without taking any damage because of the Terra ability on these guys. And now I'm starting to creep ahead against him. So he uses Armor of Mars to heal back up to 22 points, but that used up all his energy and he can't do anything else. So now I hit him again with the my first unit over there. I just forgot their name right now. And hit him with everything I've got, and his health is dropping fast. And I give him can't attack again, and now it's pretty much over. Unless he can destroy at least one of my units, I can do 8 points of damage to him between my Warlord and my Reaper. And even though he gave himself just 5 more health, he realizes I still have enough on the board to kill him right away, and he just quits. So that was a quick win in about, I believe, 6 turns. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 turn win. Alright. So that was the first of the matches I want to show. The next match was a bit more interesting actually, even though it's against a lower ranked player, because he played Nemetor. And Nemetor's special ability, because it gives Nemetor a +2 attack, makes it really tough for a face smash warlord like Ehrlen, like Sevatar, who relies directly on hitting the enemy to do damage. But let's take a look at how this deck handled Nemetor this time. All of my starting cards were way too high energy, so I replaced them all, and I lucked out. I got Recon Claw again. Let's take a look at punitive action here. Deal 1 damage to all enemies for each friendly unit in play, and Rule of Fear, destroy all enemy troops with 2 or less attack. So my Recon Claw is going to play. Now he puts down this guy who could expose my Recon Claws. That's very bad, so I use up Rule of Fear early on to destroy him despite his cloak. And I hit Nemetor because he didn't go into his defensive mode yet. Now he goes into defensive mode, and he doesn't play anything. He passes it back to me. I continue to smash my face into him despite taking damage, because I'm trying to weaken him before I get units out. Ugh, look at that guy. 3 damage. So, I drop Duke Mordecai into play, I use my Recon Claw to give Duke Mordecai flank, and I go and hit him. There we go. So, and now with my 3 attack back on, I hit Nemetor again. Now I'm falling behind on health by attacking him while he has 4 attack, but I just have to keep the pressure up. He uses Storm Eagle for its 2 points of damage, destroying Duke Mordecai. Obviously that means there's nothing left to stun. And it flips back to my turn. The Raven is nice to have, but unfortunately his cost is too high. I couldn't really do anything during that turn, so I just gave the turn back to him now. Oh, Gardos. That guy is nasty. So what I'm going to do here is use Sevatar's special ability to lower Gardos' attack, and now drop Rule of Fear to destroy it. Rule of Fear destroys any unit with 2 or less attack, so that includes Gardos despite its survivor. He goes into defensive mode again, and he drops these guys. Now this is getting kind of annoying, but I have a solution. I drop Vacurin, a frontline unit. I then give it flank with Recon Claw. I continue to just smash my face into Nemetor. I know that Salamanders struggle with finishers, so I don't mind my health dipping low. Oh, I forgot to actually do the flank attack. That was brilliant of me. And now this guy is stunned. And he's taking a pounding over there. But I have the solution coming up. Watch this. I drop both technical servitors now. And with 5 units on the board, I drop punitive action to do 5 damage to everything he has, including his warlord. Alright. He uses defensive satellites to try and wipe out more of my board, and unfortunately that means bye-bye Recon Claws. Oh well, they did good work while they were there. He drops Goldstone. Now this would have been dangerous to me, because if I didn't have a frontline unit, he could have done 5 damage to me right there. But now it's over. With him only on 10 health and the Raven in my hand, I can drop the Raven and attack him. And I just about have enough health left to be able to attack him despite his 4 attack and win the match. So that was a close game, but with the by using the punitive action mechanism and some of his good rule of fears, I was able to keep that salamander under control. Alright, and the final match I want to show you is my most recent one against Russ. So this player was ranked 3,912 before I beat him. Let's take a look at Sevatar versus Russ. So Russ, being a Primarch, starts on 40 health, so he has more than me. I decide to replace Rule of Fear and Boss Predator. I'm really trying to hunt for a Recon Claw. Unfortunately, that doesn't come up. Ah, but it came up in the first draw. That's nice. I'm going with Abandoned Supplies first to try and pull out a card for Recon Claws to use later, and it works perfectly. I get a cheap Vakurin. That'll be nice. I hit Russ with my 3 attack. We're down to a 4 health gap between us, but now he drops this dude with the pack mechanic, and he goes up to 2 attack. Now with these pack guys, I personally feel you have to take them down while they're weak before they get super strong. I play another Abandoned Supplies, and I get a cheap Duke Mordecai. That's nice as well. And I go and hit them. He pulls out Emperor's Executioners to do a whopping 4 points of damage to me. So now I'm 10 points of health behind him. He attacks me, and he gets his pack mechanic going. He's trying to build these guys up to be really strong before he attacks, so I just remove them right now. And I drop my Duke Mordecai, and I still have 1 point of energy left, but I'm hoping the Wolves, who usually struggle with removal, don't have anything, except he had Melgator ready already. So Duke Mordecai pops right back into my hand, and he goes and hits me with Russ, and now I'm falling really behind. I'm 14 points of health behind him, and he's really in control of this match. Now let's bring in Recon Claw, and also some healing. I don't have enough energy to trigger him, but he'll be useful for later. Oh, look at that. He's got a legendary card. This guy gains 1 attack every time one of his units attacks, and he hits me with the Ambassador and with Russ, so this guy's up to 5 attack now. But now it's time for the cure. I drop Night Sights, use Night Sights to destroy the Ambassador, give them flank, and they've got more attack than this guy does, and they can kill him straight away. So he did nothing. Alright. So now I'm still really far behind on health. I was about to say I'm taking control, but now look at what happened. He dropped his super OP Rune Priest guy, who gives ward to neighboring units, including Russ. So I used Terra tactics to weaken his attack so he doesn't destroy Night Sides, and then I managed to finish him off. And then heal myself a little bit. And I've got a choice between Mercy and Forgiveness and Curse of Foresight. I go with Mercy and Forgiveness because it gives me some flexibility on later actions. I've stopped attacking Russ because I'm so far behind on health. He continues to try to take me down quickly. Alright. So I no longer have my Recon Claws. I can't do anything there. So I use I basically gave him cannot attack, weakened him with Sevatar, and then attack with Night Side, so he's almost dead. Now he's got these Long Fang dudes who can do massive amounts of damage. Alright, so let's see how I handle this now. Rule of Fear. I can't do enough to these guys to weaken them with Rule of Fear, so I use my healing guy to kill the first one. Use the Night Sides to kill this guy, and then I use these guys to kill the final one. So now I'm starting to take control back. I'm really far behind, but with a tough frontline unit, things are looking a bit brighter for me. And he now goes into super defensive mode. This is the turn where the match turned round, because he didn't have anything to answer me. And now I can hit him with all of my powerful units here. And even though these guys are nearly dead, it's hard for him to kill them because of the frontline unit, which I've just healed a little bit back as well. So now Russ is really in trouble. I try to give myself some extra cards, and with my great luck, I'm just drawing nothing at all but tactics. So I take 3 points of damage. Because Curse of Foresight deals 1 damage for every tactic you draw.
I dislike anyone who disagrees
And he kills himself. So that was the win against Russ over there. Alright, so I hope you had some ideas now. You can see how a Sevatar deck can work. As a recap, let's go and take a look at that deck one more time. I rely a lot on Recon Claw in order to give units flanks so they can act as soon as they hit the board. That's important to clear out the board for Sevatar's own ability, because as long as the enemy have no troops, I gain +1 attack. And then beyond that, key cards include Night Sides for just killing weak units and continuing domination. Same with Reaper of Kaldrak for stopping the enemy from attacking while you attack them in return. The Raven is there as a great finisher, and Vakurin is there to protect you in late game. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and you get notified every time I post up new videos. And until then, hopefully you will play and enjoy Sevatar. Alright, bye for now, guys.